Hey guys and girls, I hope you're all doing well. Here with a very long overdue room tour. So we'll have a little look around the various gaming toy spaces, retro spaces. And yeah, without further ado, let's turn the camera around and see how things have changed.
Hey, you gotta think about it. Think about it.
Game Girl, Game Boy,
Superstar DJs. Here we go.
So we'll start off with a quick pan around of the room. I can't remember when I last did a room tour, perhaps last year. It feels like it's been a while. Some things, if you did see the prior vid, probably quite similar. I've just got a bit of a habit of reshuffling stuff around the shelves in a forever ending game of Tetris. So it's a bit of a scan. We have got some stuff going on in the other rooms, a bit of a work setup, the boring side of the room. But we start on the left. It's a bit of a recent sort out. You've got some Chase HQ at the top, and I say some deprioritized GameCube games. Ones that I'm not going to move them on. I'm just going to put them to one side. The games that I don't play too often, and I've got alternate ways of playing them as well. I've literally just, we'll come on to it in a bit, but I've just selected about 25 or so games I do play more frequently and ones I want to display in the room. Next up, we have got, starting at the top, there's a pile of annuals and various bits and bobs, some duplicates or some doubles, some Indiana Jones figures stacked up, and then we've got Boulder Hill, which I had as a kid growing up one Christmas. Feels like a long time ago, probably because it was. This isn't the one I had back then. It was one of the few things that my mum and dad sold or moved on. So I grabbed this from Nerd Base probably about 3 or so years ago in fairly decent nick. It does come complete. The only thing I'm a bit dot about is the infamous hose pipes. They're very easy for anyone to forge, very easy for someone to lose the originals. So I've got some in there. Whether or not they're the originals, I'm not 100% convinced. It's nigh on impossible to determine. I have stacked away a few boxed Game Boy Advance games. Again, just trying to prioritize space. Part of the collection I'm not selling, do not intend to sell. But yeah, to kind of have more things on display, I put them over there. A further pile of stuff that's like box protectors and bits, and then we've got some Tomy action there, Tomytronic game. We've got a Ulysses in the corner, but let's come back to this. So originally, I think in the last video, this would have housed like the full set 3DS. Still got all of the 3DS games, but there's a lot of them. The cheesier, the kids titles, the dogs, the cats, and all of that malarkey. I boxed them away and put them somewhere else in the house just to leave the games I do play, the nicer games, and I've kind of kept them on there. And as you can see, they're kind of interspersed, if that's a word, between some Game Boy games. So on this shelf and on that shelf, we've got a combination of Game Boy, original Game Boy, and Game Boy Color. There's a few of them. People always make the comments, and it's a valid one. It pees me off as well. It's the Game Boy Color ones you tend to find don't have necessarily the logo and the writing at the sides. They don't display as well. I'm doing a bit of crop rotation. So today we've got Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. I think I've got a loose copy. There's there is another Pac-Man for the Game Boy Color, obviously color version. I don't have a box one of them, but I wanted to get the original Game Boy one. I don't know if it was just a US only release of Godzilla, again for the original Game Boy. There's a guy selling up pretty much all of his collection. I found on eBay, got chatting to him, so I picked up quite a few bits from him. A proper collector, so everything is in lovely condition. But we'll pop pop that down there, and then we'll move these ones just to see what we've got. Got a bit of an angle. They've all got box protectors on for obvious reasons. But yeah, loving the kind of the simplicity of the Accolade games. We'll just see if we can grab one of these. Actually, let's grab Missile Command, because it's a term I hate, but the box art is popping. Absolutely beautiful for a geeky Game Boy collector like me. So yeah, love a bit of that. We'll put that there. Pokemon Red. So I've got my original red cart, but didn't have the box. I've had that a little while. Dragon's Lair, R-Type. I think another one I got off the guy, the eBay guy. But yeah, pretty cool. Finally got Pro Protector 2. I had it loose, but to get this one, this is the penultimate game that I bought for the Game Boy. I've kind of slowed right down now. I've been very, very picky in terms of what I need, things that I'd like, and this was on there. So chuffed to have a nice version of that. Obviously the original Pro Protector, Missile Command, which I think is the colour. Must be the colour version. Not as good as the other one in terms of the box art. Yeah, Dragon's Lair, RoboCop, Trip World, obviously the limited run release, and so on and so forth. Cheekily squeezed in Jungle Strike with the 3DS games, and with the 3DS titles, I mean, they continue to go up in value. It's a bit mad. So some which are sealed, I've just left sealed, because again, I mean, there's other ways to play, get these games. There's a few more cheeky Game Boy games there. Trying to, a lot of the first party Nintendo games I kind of put on that side, or on the shelf, I should say. And it's double stat, so I'm not going to move stuff around, but it is similar to the Game Boy one at the top. There's some other stuff in there, which these people too. I think it's like Tintin in the middle, German version, which is a bit of a bugger to get, hence getting the German version. Dr. Mario, Krusty's Funhouse, and some more. It's not a lie. There's a couple of two, the Doom games. I know probably the only Game Boy Advance games here. The rest are up in the box. Yeah, Double Dragon 2. Did a bit of a methodical tick back to make sure I had all the Donkey Kong land games, and in quite good condition. Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, look, the Curse of the Game Boy Color. Pretty cool game though. So it's a bit of a pain. And some of the launch titles, like Alleyway, nice version of Prince of Persia, awesome game, pretty much on any format. Yeah, probably could do at some stage get an upgrade to Batman. I'm sure they would have sold a hell of a lot of them, but to find one in decent condition, a bit like Zelda, is very, very difficult for me anyway. Yeah, and then we've got more. Got 3DS, got some Layton. We've got a run of Zelda games, a run of Kirby games, RPG Central. The game with the most expensive game that I bought. It was cheaper than over here. I got it from a guy in Sweden. And now there's some on eBay, people just taking the piss, I think, and you have to be careful because there's like a French version or a European version, and people try and sell it as though it's the UK kind of power one, although clearly on the box it's bloody got Barbie with a chien. It doesn't even say bloody pup, but people try and take the P and catch people out. And some more down there. A couple of DS's. There's a lot of DS's and 3DS's around this house. And a very recent acquisition from Miso. It needs a bit of retro. Needs a lot of retro. What's the word? Bleaching. get it back to its former self. So maybe a project for next summer. But yeah, nice little carry-all case for the Game Boy. And then, yeah, wires, miscellaneous stuff, big box, Final Vendetta, little Ulysses book. Here, yeah, a bit of a pride and joy really. My Super Metroid, obviously big box with the player's guide. A couple of times I've upgraded the player's guide. The first one was a bit tatty, and then I got one. Well, first I say tatty, it was barely together. The second one was so-so, and now I've got one that's yeah, it's a very certainly not bloody minty, but very, very good condition. We call it that. And yeah, these are basically that, and that is all of my loose carts for Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Game Gear. And yeah, I'm probably deserves a separate video, so I'm just going to pick one at random. So this is obviously the GBA, the Game Boy Advance one. More Game Boy Advance there. And I've got some probably on the other shelf where it's like more manuals and bits, so it's not just all it's all carts. Got to get rid of this. Not very well prepared, am I? This one, for example. So I've got an abundance of cards. Got the Hello Kitty Game Boy Pocket, and all odds and sods. Got this one from Ali Retro Hunter, not that long ago. A couple of games. I think they came on a like a Game Boy UK magazine. So something a bit different, which I'm pleased with. And then we go back here, kind of switch slightly from games to toys. And yeah, it's all, most of it anyway, is new stuff. The only thing that isn't new, as in it's from back in the day, is the Dingbot bots, even from Tomy. All the rest of it is obviously all classics, old classics, but new versions of those classics. Be it the Indiana Jones figures. I mean, those original ones now cost a fortune. Loved the Turtles Mutant Mayhem film. So yeah, the only two figures I grabbed was Bebop and Rocksteady, just because I love them. I think they're pretty freaking awesome. We got some Master of the Universe. We've got, yeah, Spot the Error. We got He-Man on a Tila card, a bit of a miscard on that one from a local toy shop. The guy was nice enough to message me and say, look, put an order in. This was a few years ago. Put an order in and look what we've got. And he sold it to me for face value, knowing I wasn't going to be a dick and try and move it on for a bigger price. Those kind of miscards can gain a bit of money. So yeah, love those too. Scareglow as well. See the glow in the dark. Again, more modern releases. Optimus Prime. I can't remember the range, the name of the range, but these came out again probably 3-4 years ago. Virgin or Savvy had them at a bit of a knockdown price. So I got like a black and white version of Optimus, and then a colour one. I did a bit of work. Was helping out a mate on a project. Doing some filming and editing, purely like, leisure stuff. I don't love to, but I don't do it for a for a career, just for shits and giggles. And he was kind enough to give me some vouchers off the back of it. I kind of said, look, you don't pay me, just to just kind of helping you out. And he said, look, I'm going to give you something, and he ended up giving me vouchers for Forbidden Planet. So I thought, right, we're going to have to get a bit of Godzilla and King Kong. Got a lot of time for King Kong. Watched that with my granddad back in the day. Yeah, awesome memories of those. So yeah, quite like those two. And I think it was like Burger King or a McDonald's meal. We've got Hulk in there, which is quite cool. And then a present from my wife, Game Boy Watch. So loving that. And some Dick Tracy. Blame that all on Ali for getting me stuck into them. R2-D2, it's like original carded one from Return of the Jedi. And then we'll switch back here So again, kind of using that front-facing display piece, but behind these, we've got the set. So let's move them. Let's drop them even. So let's move them down there. Sorry for the shaky camera work. So we've got some miscellaneous stuff. We've got Famicom Star Wars. We've got mini disc, one of my favourite albums, Blue Lines from Massive Attack. Absolutely love that. Cleaning kit for the Game Boy. A run of Game Gear games. So next shelf we've got Tintin. It was from a series of books you got, and every book had like, Tintin vehicle and Tintin himself. So there's some were cars, but there was planes, there was all sorts, bikes. That one took my fancy, so I grabbed that one. We've got like a Gatchaman spaceship, which is pretty cool. You're not going to be able to see them all, but yeah, the GameCube. These are the ones I kind of highlighted at the top of the video. I'm going to be keeping on the shelf. Got awesome Dick Tracy original from when the film came out. Watch. I've just put on display, with the exception of one. It's all the first Game Boy games I played back in the day. So I would have started with a bit of Tetris, and then soon after Mario Land and Gargoyle's Quest, and Solar Striker and Double Dragon. I can't remember the order of when I got those two, but yeah, proper childhood memories. This is the game that I've been after for bloody ages, and eventually got one in decent condition. It's not that many, and when you do see them, again, they're a bit crappy, and it's not perfect, a few little corner bits, but the main thing is the front. The front's nice. The Dick Tracy logo is friggin' awesome on all sides, so very happy with that. That was kind of I wouldn't say the grail piece, but that was like, once I've got this, I now feel that anything beyond in the collection is just nice to have. So it's just, I honestly feel fairly complete with what I got on the Game Boy. But never say never. We're kind of collectors after all. The back doesn't get much play because I got like the GD EMU, the Dreamcast. So I've kept some. We've still got the Dreamcast collection. Not intending to move them on. And and then Japanese Mega Drive, which I continue to crop rotate. We've got more Dick Tracy, but how cool is that? It's like an insanely nice box cover. Gunstar Heroes, Super Shinobi. We've kind of got full Shinobi sets. Shadow Dancer. So yeah, happy days on that little toy. I think I got in Spain, albeit it's from an English company. Little Ninja, and then Barbarian. Little like maze games where you've got a little ball bearing which you kind of shoot around the maze, which is pretty cool. I did have a sort out probably about a month or so ago on the Switch. Managed to get them to two shelves, A to Z. We got some Wonder Swan and some Wii bits. At the top we got some spare Switch cases in case there's any like breakages. We got the Pocket. Grabbed this off eBay. It turned up last week, and Hunchback, obviously one of the Tiger electronic games, but it was a bit of another Insomniac eBay moment. But I think I got it for about £8. It was something like £6 or £5 plus P&P. Or usually, like loose, you can spend like 50, 60 quid, which obviously I wouldn't, but I'm not that after it. I thought, you know what, cheeky bid, and woke up and lo and behold, payment required. So I was just like, freaking excellent. And I've even put some, I really can't turn it off now. Yeah, they've even put some batteries in, so chuffed with that. A bit of Caveman as well, which I love this. Which my older brothers had, and a bit of a pass me down. I used to play this back in the day, which is really cool. More Switch games. I've been collecting for quite some time, the old Game & Watch. So I've got the 2-player, nice 2-player boxing one. That was on there from the lady I bought it. I just haven't. I'm going to leave it on there. We've got Mario. Just sort the times out on all these. These are all wrong. Goldcliff, a recent acquisition. We've got a nice Snoopy panorama on the reflective screen. And a couple. So this was the Goldcliff. From Sore Thumbs when they were down in London. See, not perfect. It's a bit of a crease on the left, but it looks probably looks a bit worse with the light directly shining on it. And then a Club Nintendo ball game. So I want to leave that how it is. And then we've got some Master System. Again, like double stats. More upstairs. But I'm kind of just keeping the games I'm more likely to play down here and accessible. Finally got, I think it was Secret Mission, which was kind of eluding me for it's either Secret Mission or The Great Rescue. I can't remember which one. But I needed the 3. It's bad, isn't it? I kind of just had 2, and that was kind of getting on my nerves. A little bit. Got some stuff from Andy's and only revived Triple Trouble, which was a Game Gear game, so he's kind of put it on the so it's playable on the Master System, and also the Goonies, that's one of his as well, right on the bottom right. So yeah, really pleased with the Master System. I kind of been moving on some of the the big hitters to other people who they'll kind of belong better in their collections, but particularly when they're going for full sets. But for that one, 3DS is my full set. I think now I'm just going for stuff that I kind of want, or I've got nostalgia for, as opposed to trying to go to A to Z on anything. And then more toys. We've got a couple of box Game Gears there. We've got my Pride and Bloody Joy, Death Squad Commander from Palatoy. Got a Colville, north of England, where it was made. That was the first run. It's like a 12-back one. So when there was only ever 12, the first ever 12 figures that they did. So it's not a bad grading, like an 80. I don't really typically go for graded stuff, but something like this, a bit of history, I thought, why not? And Nema toys. Again, they're kind of making new toys, but around old lines. So this one's the V, the fantastic TV series with Freddie, Robert Englund. So chuffed with that. And that's out there. And then we've got like a Famicom, SNES, 3DS, Japanese GameCube. Got the Japanese controller. Got the Wonder Swan. So we've got like a bit of a sea of orange, haven't we, going on there? And then new part from Dick Tracy. That's kind of a vintage original one. The others are more like new. Got a nice Dr. Octopus up there. Love that character. Boba Fett, bit of Tintin again. I was very picky. I went for Double Dragon, Dungeons and Dragons even. I just got Hank and Presto, and obviously Venger, Dungeon Master. That will kind of do me. Ulysses, bit of a custom figure there, which I thought was quite cool. Dick Tracy, one of those cassettes. We've got my Specky collection, where I just went on I know, a bit of a search. Was it last year, the year before, and just wanted to grab every game that I had back in the day. Maybe there were a couple extras in there, such as the mask ones, which I kindly got gifted to me by James, Retro Import Gaming. So cheers, James, for those when I met up with him. But yeah, the other ones are games that I had back in the day. Real combination of figures going on here. Some of them are new, such as the droid in the middle, but then the R2 with the pop-up lightsabers, like an oldie one, as is the Stormtrooper. That's the Luke in Stormtrooper disguise. So yeah, really, yeah, happy with those. That's another Neymar one, the trapdoor. Don't go crazy on Funkos, but I quite like that one, the Joker. And this one as well, Luke with a little Grogu on the back. Love myself some Beastie Boys. So when they were Super 7 announced they were going to be releasing them, I was all over it. I've got a Tintin Rocket. I've got a more modern toy. So this, I think it's the 9 till 5ers, like a newish toy line that came out. It's either this year or last year. And this is Captain Crisp. Absolutely awesome. And he breaks down into 3 individual characters. You can take the Pringles to pieces, and he can kind of 3 of them, which is awesome. But yeah, Sharky, character from V. Is it Diana from V? Ulysses, got Nono. And normally they're a bit knackered. His arms a bit wobbly. But normally the stickers for the on the No sticker itself, but then on the eyes as well, that's kind of a sticker that goes on with the googly eyes. Quite often that's missing, so I'm very happy with that. A great pal who actually worked for Codemasters sent me a few bits, but including this kind of beanie, which I've folded up there. Emperor's Royal Guard, again, a kind of an original one of my favourite figures really from the Return of the Jedi line, and one that I thought, I'd love to get that carded, and I did a while ago, which is such an awesome figure. And yeah, Pro Action Replay 2, which again I think is from Miso. We'll see a new Boba Fett, it's a prototype edition. And we've got the Switch. Got stuff that go, plonk that on, stuff that goes into there. We've got the Mega SG, so I've got a bit of Dune on the go, or Dune 2 I should say. I had that on the PC back in the day, so now it's quite nice to get it on the Mega Drive. Fire that up. Cops and Crooks, love this cartoon back in the day, and didn't see them come over here. I ended up getting these from like Australia, but like kind of cool figure line. They did these, they did some that were unpainted, and I think I did some like glow in the dark ones as well. So because of the shipping and all that, I'd be honest, I got all 3, and moved the other 2, kind of boxed them away, and just have that one on display. And then he's kind of an original figure, the big boss. Kind of missing his cane. Bootleg John's taking a tumble. You might be happy about that. We've got the infamous Bootleg John. Do you remember these? The Mino HD, kind of just a video cameras. But this one is as you can probably recognise, like a Gorillas edition, which came out as part of one of the tours. I think it's a Plastic Beach tour they did. I thought that's quite cool. My original Link, Rubik's Cube, obviously a 2x2x2 as opposed to 3x3x3. I'm still bloody useless at it. And yeah, so these are kind of all, there's probably, think there's some 3DS games in there, which I kind of put at the bottom for my son play, just they're a bit easier to get, and he's not making a mess on the other shelf. But otherwise it's all DS, combination of games that I really want. I mean, got some Castlevania there, got the Dementium games, absolutely friggin' amazing. Resident Evil, and then some US games, not necessarily all exclusives, but ones which are a bit cheaper to get in the US than over here, and then obviously some Japanese ones in the middle. We're kind of breaking regions there. We've got the first game watch on a power release, and then Japanese for the Game & Watch 2. I can't for the life of me remember if maybe there wasn't a power release for the second one, or it's maybe just me being inconsistent. Who knows? And then some DS stuff. So we're nearly there in this room. Finally, we've got a fairly slim down boxed Mega Drive collection. The bat, no big hitters there. Probably the biggest hit will be Dune 2, to be honest. Just games that I either had back in the day, or just wanted to grab games that I kind of enjoy playing. Lynx, I don't have an Atari Lynx. I moved that on, but I did get an adapter for the analog pocket, and it was kind of a set on there. There was a few in there. I think like PC Engine, a couple of other ones as well. And I thought, do you know what? Let's get some Lynx games. So I've been a bit picky, and I've gone after most of them are good games. If you were to look at a top 20 or whatever, top 30 Lynx title list, the ones that aren't crazy money, then you'd probably see most of these. I think the one that's probably the most, say, expensive wasn't crazy. It's not like in perfect condition, but it got a 2 Ti on this one. It wasn't great when it turned up, but I did put a bit of shape into it. It's looking a lot better than it was, so kind of pleased with them. And then I probably need some lighting down here, don't I? Missing the lighting. Famicom, Super Famicom games, to be more specific, at the back. Again, a bit of run a club. I've probably mainly gone for. Most of them are good games, but I've mainly gone for the box art. We've got some Parodius going on. We've got some Joe and Mac. Also, we've got Batman Returns, Aladdin. So yeah, pretty happy with that. I blame this all on Clint Retro Rewind, but Xeno Crisis. I've got this on a couple of other formats, such as the Mega Drive and the Evercade. But he was talking about it, and I just thought, you know what? He made a point about the SNES controller just being perfect for it. That kind of multi-directional shoot. So I said, oh man, and it looks quite nice. So I was just like, get one of them. We got some SNES controllers, and then these probably don't see much light of the day, to be honest, down here. But there's a couple of N64 games, mainly for nostalgia, such as Turok, but predominantly it is PAL SNES games, so Super Nintendo, boxed. And then in the corner, we've got the loose ones. Mega Drive loose carts. I haven't got a massive Mega Drive collection, but then I've got EverDrive. So again, there's a few times this video, there's other ways to play stuff. And then let's get a bit closer to these. Right, so some loose Game Boy. Got some bit of Mega Man. They're kind of gone up a bit. I'm so glad I got a lot of these when I did. Kid Dracula. Mega Man 2. Another Solar Striker. Parodius. I'd quite like to get, if I can, the boxed Parodius PAL version. I think I've got a loose cart. R-Type, some Tintin, some Zelda, just some classics really. Wario Land, Super Mario Land, just to avoid having to kind of open and shut boxes. Turtles 3, again, gone up a bit in value. DuckTales 2, Kirby, etc. So a lot of Game Boy. It does take up. It's finally powered up. I'm pretty happy with that. I know it's a fairly small space, so it does look pretty. I'm sure it looks pretty crammed. It's crammed for me. It must look pretty even more crammed on the camera. But I'm getting a bit more picky now, a bit more selective when I'm kind of going for stuff. I've got this list. I did talk about it on a recent video. I've got a list of stuff And if it's not on the list, then genuinely I kind of challenge myself, you know, do I really need it? Is it going to have a space in the collection? I'm not doing like one in, one out or anything, but you know, there's not much space. But I am, so yeah, nearing the end. I think I'm nearing the end of the main kind of part of my collection. I could be happy with this and kind of stop, but I'm not going to be lying and saying I'm not going to get any more stuff, because I see things and there'll be upgrades and there'll be even Game Boy. I've been collecting it for 40 odd bloody years, or 35 years, and yeah, it's just I keep seeing new games. There's always something new out there. And I'm not talking about the ones that are, you know, getting made today. I'm talking about the old ones. There's just so many things to explore. So yeah, that's it. We'll pop downstairs and we'll have a look at the other game spaces. It won't take too long to cover them off, but then that will give you the full picture. So bear with me. Right, next up, we're downstairs, kind of like the kitchen diner area, and we kind of extended it out a few years ago. I put the shelf in this bit, in like the alcove, which was pretty much used to be the end of the house before it got extended out, and literally it's turned into a bit of a media centre. Loads of books, the wife's original E.T., got the Millennium Falcon, I think that's the Force Awakens Lego set, bit of Lightyear, got the bit hidden there, the blue 2012 Nintendo Wii at the back. We've got an array of Neo Geo, MVS, saddled with some Evercade carts. I did thin them out a little bit, just keeping the ones that I play. There's a few which I just were a bit naff, or just, weren't my cup of tea. Maybe someone else's cup of tea, so I moved them on and retained those. Got some recent ones, Bit My Brothers 2, Legacy of Kain collection, which I'm quite looking forward to, and Tomb Raider as well. And then we've got the Vectrex. So we got a Verizon, obviously a bit more of a modern-y one. I keep my tuber mugs at the top, so cheers to you guys. So I do a little mug exchange. And kind of a full UK Vectrex set with some additions at the top. Kind of custom games and newer games. Fantastic, they're still making them. Retro Gamer, I literally collect the ones with the covers with the things that I'm interested in. I did start and literally getting every month, every magazine, but now I just pick and choose. I just haven't got the space, and I'm obviously less likely to reread one that I've got little interest in. So I kind of kept some of them. DIY is probably the least read book in the place. Grabbed Let's Get Physical. Got the amp a while ago and was literally just using it for Bluetooth, but then that was super cheap, like a Mookie jobby off Amazon. I think it was about 80 quid including the speakers, and it packs a punch. Really does. Has some great reviews, and such a cheap in hi-fi terms, pretty cheap offering. It's remarkable, and a bit more of an expensive CD player, which I got, but I still listen to all the old stuff, and then mainly kind of gaming related books on that shelf, and kind of TV series, DVDs, and a few more books and bits. So that's that. And then we've got probably the second gaming area. I eventually succumbed to getting a Speccy Nex, so grabbed one of those. Got TX 1696 playing on it. Really, really loving it. Really, lovely piece of kit, and it just makes some of those old games obviously really accessible. It looks beautiful on the monitor. I grabbed one of these recently on Vinted. I don't know if you remember, like a Spellmaster. I remember them from school, like a really limited dictionary, basically by Franklin. And then we go down a bit. we've got cables and the usual crap. A couple of Dreamcasts. One of them's like a GDEMU, and the other one's still got the the disc drive in it. Your GameCube, it's kind of been modded, and it's got the Game Boy adapter at the bottom. And then here is some of the Specky Next titles that I've grabbed. Moving over, I've got the analog Super NT, which I'm pretty lazy. I think in the last section of the house, so in the little gaming corner, I think I showed you my or the box full of loose carts, but I just do like an EverDrive jobby. We got the Saturn, which is again, that's kind of just modded with Allsy games on a memory card. Is it the Fenrir? And then collection of titles there. And apologies for the I didn't change my phone settings. It's going to be flicking on that. But a pickup from earlier on in the year, little 14-inch Sony CRT, and PlayStation, and a few PlayStation games. Where the Switch hangs out, I got like a third-party dock off Amazon for about 20 quid. Does what it needs to, but to be honest, it's more just of a charging place and to keep it safe. At the moment, I'm mainly doing it in handheld mode. And then we're into the front room, the final area. So you're greeted by a big Rogering on the telly, just watching his latest pickups. He's on pause, but we'll be watching the rest of that shortly. We've got the R2-D2 that my brother-in-law made me before he married my sister. I think we was trying to get into my good books. Just kidding, but absolutely, he makes stuff, and he hadn't even seen Star Wars when he made this. He just did it off Google Images. Absolute, creative genius. We've got Skeletor, Whiplash, some Star Wars books, magazines, random VHS, Visionaries, some PS5 controllers. I've got the analog Duo, the PC Engine, which is, it's been really reliable. I did a recent, like a firmware upgrade. I hadn't done it for ages. And every game I've tested so far has been fine. I know some people had some issues when it originally came out, I think with disc scratching and stuff like that. But for me anyway, it's been fine. Hasn't caused any damage. Blu-ray 4K. Apart from the stack on the right, they should all be like Arrow releases. This little Arrow, the posh film cupboard. PS5 games, some more films, PS4 in there, real whittle stop. And then this bit before was all open, but I cut out a bit of wood, added a little clip, and I can hide loads more films from my wife, which is nice because we have tons of films over here. Or three, say tons, four boxes. But with the basic DVDs, unless they're a special edition, I just put them in a little sleeve to save space, which is quite cool. A little vintage pickup, classic movies of the 80s. And then actually, let's go back here. So I've still got my MVS, my original MVS. I got from 9EG Steve, but then I got this off AliExpress, like a consoleized MVS, which obviously looks in the form of an AES, but it's just an MVS board in there, which is really cool. We've got the Wii, which my son is absolutely loving. A few Wii games. He's still really into his TV shows. And and then we've got the PC Engine collection. Got the Hue cards at the top. And then the CDs at the bottom. My command of Japanese and my memory is shocking, so I literally, as you can see, it looks a bit ugly, but I pull out the games that I'm currently playing. Albeit it's awful game. Should I have it under T as opposed to C? Devil's Crush, Final Blaster, etc. And that is it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, a few changes since the last video, that's for sure. But yeah, really happy with it. I think I'm, like I said earlier in the video, I'm kind of nearly there now in terms of what I was, targeting, what I was after. Will I stop collecting? Absolutely not. But I think we're on a bit of a slowdown. And yeah, I might even break a cardinal sin and buy some new games at some point. We'll see. Right, cheers for that, and I'll catch you on the next one.